Welcome to Clicks and Coffee. I'm Alexander, and here we dive deep in the journeys of entrepreneurs and marketing innovators. Each episode, we uncover the challenges, triumphs, and unique strategies of our amazing guests, giving you valuable insights and inspiration. Our goal is to build a community of growth oriented professionals ready to learn, collaborate, and thrive in the ever evolving world of digital marketing. So, whether you're here for the latest trends or looking for that next big idea, you've come to the right place. Let's get started. Joining us today is Kelly Quijano, the CEO and co founder of Smartsy. If you are on Instagram for your brand or your business, or you're trying to figure out how to create amazing content, Smartsy has crafted the perfect solution. So listen up, and you're going to discover an amazing company. Kelly, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for the very nice introduction.
All right. So now that we've made it kind of mysterious, can you so before we get into, I would say, the details, can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got to where you are today?
Sure, I'll try to keep that brief. I started out in fashion, so I worked as a buyer for a couple of companies. My family also had a small children's apparel brand. And about 2010, I think I shifted towards tech. I kind of saw where things were going. And I founded my first company, went through Techstars, and then kind of never looked back. The first company didn't work out. I ended up being working for other businesses and product roles. And then about 2 years ago, we decided to, jump back in the startup world again as a founder. So that's a
And
little bit about my background.
and through Techstar as well, which is
Yes,
a startup accelerator.
we took the second company through Techstars as well.
And I heard that you have some pretty interesting people that invested already in your company.
Yeah, that's true. I'm surprised you know that. We have, in addition to Techstars, we have Tia Silas, who is a CHRO of Shopify. We have Brian Kotlov, who is the COO of a company called Bento Box, who works really closely with restaurants. It's a software for restaurants. So, yes, there's others I'm probably forgetting, but we have a really great list of investors.
It's pretty exciting, and then it shows that like people are excited about your solution. So,
So-
can you tell us a little bit more about Smartsy and what sets it apart from other AI, graphic
Sure,
design, all this stuff? Because everybody's talking about AI, but your solution is very particular, and to
it
me seems
is.
to kind of solve the big problem in creatives.
Well, we hope so. So we started out, focusing on this problem of small businesses really struggle with creating content for Instagram. And I'm sure um, if you're a small business owner watching this, or as you know, as a digital agency founder, it's time consuming. You don't know what to post. It's kind of like you just don't, as a business owner, you're doing so many other things. You don't have the time or knowledge to really dedicate to creating content for Instagram, yet the customers expect for you to be constantly creating content. And it's now the number one place they look before they will, make that purchasing decision. If they're going to buy something, a product or a service from you, they're checking your social media, and most likely they're checking your Instagram. So we really focused on that problem. We've been working on this for about a year and a half. And I think like a lot of other people, when AI came out, we saw this like, oh, this is going to like really help us solve this problem. And so we really experimented for about a year with different solutions, different segments. We tried so many things. Something times we had success, sometimes we had like massive failures, but it really kind of honed our strategy, and we ended up realizing Probably like about 5 or 6 months ago, that you really need, as great as AI is, we really needed a human in the loop. And so that's when we started our expert program. And so what we do now is we're not selling software to small businesses. We are empowering people to become content creators for these small businesses. So we train people on our software. We teach them how to sell. We basically empower them to have their own social media marketing agency of one person. And because AI has come so far, it really empowers them to do this job, to earn an income, to, work from home, all these things that, so many people desire. So what we've done is we have solved this content creation problem for small businesses, but we aren't doing it in the traditional way of just providing them a software that they have to use themselves. We are providing them an expert who is trained, in the latest AI tools and our, proprietary content creation framework. We train them how to create content for you. So they're doing everything for you. They're delivering the product. And really, we're also focused on results, like getting results for a business. So it's not just, like, okay, what 3 random things are we going to post? It's really about getting the strategy correct for creating content for a small business. So we train our experts on that. It's kind of baked into our AI. And then it empowers them to kind of create content more efficiently and more effectively. So that's our solution. So
Listen, it makes a lot of sense because we talk to a lot of small business owners, and it seems that every 6 months a new software comes out, not necessarily for content creation, but a new software comes out. So a lot of small business owners have to juggle between the CRM, between QuickBooks, between the POS system, between the content creation, between Facebook, Instagram, and this, that, and can become very overwhelming. So
yeah,
it makes a lot
overwhelming
of
was the
sense to me.
word that we heard over and over and over again. It's overwhelming, and a general dread towards it. So yeah, and like you said, there are new content creation solutions coming out all the time, powered by AI. Most of them we found were focused on the text portion, like writing a caption or giving you an idea. And the outputs were they weren't that great. So we focused initially on a lot of the graphics portion of it. So now we have this kind of more complete solution, but we're using our experts to really deliver it so that they're taking that burden off of the business owner and delivering the content, posting it, scheduling it, analyzing the results, optimizing it, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and being able to, as we go, craft a better strategy and better design, better creatives.
Exactly. And you're in software development, so you'll know, like we call it an agile Instagram strategy. So if you develop software, you probably use an agile method to develop software where you're testing and you're analyzing the results and you're tweaking based on
Mm.
that. And we do the same thing with Instagram content.
No, that's pretty crazy. And so how did you come up with the idea? Because it's been just a little under 2 years that you started that, and
Yeah.
in the 2 years it seems to me that you've pivoted also a
Yeah.
couple of times. So can you tell us a little bit, how the idea came about, and if you had any, I would say, mentors or influences that helped
Definitely.
you with the ideation, and then at the same time with focusing on that new business plan?
Yes. So what we started out with was the team. So our team, we've been working together for longer than 2 years. We've been working together for almost 7. So we knew that's what we started out with. We have this team. We know we can build software, and we know we can make it easy to use, you know, pretty, and user friendly. So we initially started out doing greeting cards and invitations, kind of like a modernized paperless post. We had noticed kind of all of those invitation sites, Evite, paperless posts, kind of were now legacy. They're about 14, 15 years old. Um, there hasn't been like a really new way to do this process. And we're like, if this were built today, it would not be built like this. And so we started out doing that. And then we met, when you talk about mentors, a really pivotal mentor for us is Andres Barreto, who's now the MD of Managing Director of Techstars New York. At the time, he was the
Oh,
Managing Director of Techstars Miami. So yeah, so we met him and he was like, but what problem are you solving? And we were like, well, the greeting card aisle hasn't changed in 100 years. And, these software solutions haven't really changed in 14 years. So we're kind of updating it. And we realized after many conversations with him, we weren't really solving a problem. So we really started doing customer discovery interviews. And that's what led to our first pivot of, okay, defining the problem that we want to work on. And that is where we, kind of came upon this problem of content creation for Instagram for small businesses. We heard it over and over and over again that this was a big problem in many different types of small businesses, and the patterns were the same. So we really were like, this is a problem that we're interested in. It's a problem that our expertise matches, and it's one that we would, like to dedicate our time in the next couple of years to try to solve. So yeah. And then Andres again was pivotal when we transferred to this expert method. So he's just been one of our, we have so many amazing mentors, but he has been one that's special.
yeah, no, that's pretty, pretty crazy when you think about it, of like, how you started and where you are today
Yeah.
within
Yes.
not couple of months, but it's still,
Yes.
a few years, a couple of years. So that's pretty cool. Um, so, can you share with us? So, as you're working on that, I wanted to know if we could share take a quick look at your Instagram page, since we're talking
Oh,
about Instagram. I
yeah.
have it pulled up,
Okay.
uh, and I kind of wanted to show, with
Sure.
the where is my I lost it.
Okay.
Oh shoot, I had it and I don't what I do with it. But let me just try to find that quickly. Instagram. No, because it's funny, and I kind of wanted to see also on your feed which are the pictures that are AI and which are the pictures that are not, because I don't know if they're all,
I
but
think
some of
they're
them.
all AI.
Oh, really? Wow.
So I don't think anything's made.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, it's pretty cool.
I'll have
So,
to pull it up as well, but I can almost guarantee that it's all
all right, so let me share
artificial
this.
intelligence.
Um, Here we are.
Yep. It's all AI.
Drum roll. So yeah, so here it is,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's really well
Yeah.
done, because I don't I tried a couple of tools, and it's never that good. So look at this one, Frida Kahlo. It's pretty
Yes. And
good.
you'll see like our engagement right now, we have very few followers, and it's one of the things that we're not really focused on right now. We're focused on getting the content right and measuring things like reach is super important to us. But yeah, I can tell you it's 100% made with artificial intelligence.
Pretty
So,
even this one.
oh, that one is not. Yep.
Oh
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
it might be, but I don't think it is.
Okay, no, because
But
this one
that's,
too,
yeah.
The Office.
The Office, the two with celebrities might not be artificial intelligence. Everything else is.
Okay. I see. And that's pretty cool, huh? To imagine that this is AI.
Yes.
But yeah, no, no, just funny, because it's kind of and I know, like, the point right now is to test things,
Exactly.
and really get to a good project.
Yeah, we're using the same thing. Our personal account always gets the least amount of attention because we're so focused on our clients, our experts, and
Other
everything
accounts.
else. But we are using the same strategies with ours, and you see how the message changes, everything. And so it's really interesting to watch. And
Uh,
I really enjoy creating it now. So I wish I
it,
had more
yeah,
time
no,
for
and I know from your background, it's pretty, it's pretty impressive because you went to Parson, which is, one of the top design school in the
exactly.
world, probably.
Yes.
So it's very, very, very nice. And so,
Mm.
since you are really, when we talk about startup, is really where you are right now, like,
Yeah.
changing
Yes,
things rapidly,
we're
moving things.
in the
Uh,
startup phase. A lot of my friends will say, I'll say, "Oh, how's your startup going?" And they're like, "Oh, we're actually a company now." So, but Smartsy is definitely, we're still in the startup phase. So we're just starting to onboard our first experts and train them and watch them get clients. So we're still in this early, like gritty, resourceful phase of the company.
And so, I'm sure that you guys have to experiment a lot. Can you tell us a little bit about your experimentation plan, or like how
Sure.
does it work in your company? Since, right now the point is to really try to find, I would say, that angle that will resonate with more people.
Yes. So right now we're actually experimenting a little less than we did in the past year because we really experimented. Um, I feel like now that we've kind of moved on from the product experiments a little bit, we will always experiment. It's not like we're leaving it behind, but we were doing bigger experiments. Like we would come every week, like this is our hypothesis, uh, just for one example of an experiment we did is real estate agents are, a segment that really need Instagram content creation. And so we hack together a solution where you could just plug in your Zillow link and we would create content right off of that. And then we would run experiments, see the results, talk to people that were in the industry, and then kind of look and see if this was something we wanted to go deeper in or to kind of do a different experiment and get some more data. So it was really, we're still experimenting, but the experiments are more focused on, on an actual feature. Like, how does this feature, if we do this, does this feature make more sense or work better? How do we implement this feature? So it'll be an experiment that's more confined to a specific thing, and we're looking for a certain outcome. Whereas the beginning experiments, we were just like, let's see what happens, and then make the decision from there. So we did so many experiments. I wasn't I haven't thought about a lot of them in a while, but it really led, in during Techstars, during the program, the goal was to have like one experiment per week. Um,
Oof.
yes. And so we weren't all the time building like a software, solution to test the experiment. Sometimes it would just be, do something that was manual and see the results. But so we did run a lot of experiments then. And I think as a company, if you're growing and you'll always be experimenting. So right now our experiments are more on like who, is the profile that makes a better expert, a better content creator, a better salesperson, to really get Smartsy out into the world. So our experiments are more focused.
Um, yeah, that makes total sense. And so, now that you're really
Mhm.
looking to, now you kind of have like the game plan, I would say. So how do you go about finding experts and customer for your business? Like, what is your
Yes.
marketing strategy? Since we're in a marketing podcast,
Sure. I
I
won't
think we
reveal it
need to talk.
all, but I'll tell you how we're thinking about it. We're thinking of our client as the expert. So, we're really thinking of, how to reach these, the person that will be the expert. We're experimenting with different demographics of people like recent college graduates or stay-at-home moms. So we're trying to see what kind of the best profile is for an expert, and we're still doing some experiments around that and trying some things. But within each of these categories there's different ways to market, different ways to partner with people. Like we've done a few partnerships that have led to kind of a lot of expert applications, and then really a lot of it's word of mouth, which is one thing that's really brilliant about this way of working is that, you know, everyone, there's 3 people on my block right now that are experts. So once one person does it, yeah. I mean, this is my block and I am the founder. This is not every block in the US, but you can see how it just the word of mouth is kind of like, "Oh, she's doing this and this looks really cool and interesting. I'm interested." Right now we're working a lot with moms who need a more flexible schedule, or parents really that need a more flexible schedule, but on my specific block, we have 3 people that are experts and 1 person that's a client. So what we're doing is working with these experts on how to get their first clients and how to approach businesses and their network of and market to them. So our core focus, I think I've lost track of your original question, but our core focus is marketing to experts, not to small businesses.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So it's really like kind of talking about the pivot. It's really, really pivoting.
Yes. Yes. There
All
will be
right.
a point which we will spend, marketing money and time and resources on matching small businesses to experts, but right now we're really solely focused on expanding our expert pool.
Yeah, no, no, no. It totally makes sense. And then the great thing is like you're really giving the tools, the game plans, and the
Exactly. Like
expertise.
everything we build now is with the idea of like how do we make this expert more effective and more efficient and better at their job.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. And that's such a win-win for everybody because I feel like, you have a good amount of people that are creative. They
Mhm.
just cannot translate those ideas and that creativity into something tangible or digital.
Exactly.
But
Yes.
that kind of like looks like it's solving that issue. Do you have any
I'd also like
exciting
to say, like, AI solves a lot of creativity problems. A lot of people, it's really popular to say that AI can't be as creative as a human, and I feel like they're just not using AI correctly because it's wildly creative.
and then the thing is like it's just with AI, you get to talk to a system that has the database of everything.
Yes,
So it's just like,
exactly.
not infinite knowledge because it's finite, but
Yeah,
they have all the different types of, paintings, drawing styles, anything
everything.
that you can. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is
Yeah.
you that's limited by like what you can ask the AI.
Exactly, and so basically we are training the experts on how to unlock this.
That's funny. No, I
Yeah.
did that one day to try to come up with ideas of, types of graphics. And what I did is because I have a limited knowledge in design, so I ask I asked ChatGPT, can you give me like the top 10, drawing styles in the US? And they give me the list. And I'm like, okay, now generate a drawing in each style so I can understand the different style. And then from there,
Exactly.
dig down. So
And then you
that's
can
fun.
kind of, and I'm sure that unlocked your creativity because it's like, okay, well, I didn't know, but now that I know, I really like this, but it would be cool if, and that's when your personal creativity will come into play.
No, exactly. And so is there any upcoming project that you're excited about? That I know it's tons, but like
It's
any
not enough.
features, any
It's,
any any features, that like you're super excited or that you've been working and you're excited to, or something
yeah.
that it's already
So
out and you're very excited about.
our core thing right now is making each business that we make it really easy to manage multiple clients is one thing that we're working on. But within that, each business has their own AI agent. And so what we're really focused on now is making this with context and with prompting and everything, just making it awesome. So that's fun for me, like doing that, creating knowledge bases for each business, that sort of thing. Yeah, so that's our immediate goal. And then I would like to, as one of our next projects, we're either going to, we haven't decided what's higher priority, is integrating with Instagram so we can feed the analytic data, the data back into the AI agent to make it more powerful for the expert. So that's something I'm super excited about when it can say,
See,
you know,
that's a very exciting, at least for me,
yeah,
you know, being a
it's
digital marketing
super
owner, that
cool.
sounds
Yeah, so it's because one of
extremely
our
exciting.
things is we want to make these experts more effective. And so how do we do that? We can take all of your analytics from, you know, your previous posts, and we can feed it into your agent so that it has the context of what does resonate with your audience, what doesn't, and can recommend better, like more predictive content. So that's one thing I'm excited about, but there's a lot of other things too. So,
Oh, and I'm sure, I don't want to spill the beans, but I'm sure that Facebook, TikTok integration, LinkedIn integration is in the works as well.
yes, and so it's actually really interesting because it's really low on our priority list,
Oh,
because
really?
you can schedule a Facebook post anywhere. Like you can, you know, we don't need to make that. You can do it on Meta, you can do it through a million other tools on Canvas. So kind of these, and we do have to integrate with Meta to get these analytics. So that will happen, but the kind of these other things that we will eventually have, because we want to be a unified platform where you don't have to leave to do the whole thing. So we will do that, but it's not our biggest priority just because it is such an easy thing to do right now.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Um, all right, super. And so, one of the thing that, I like to ask
Sure.
is what is your favorite app or tool that you use daily and that you cannot uh,
Live
uh,
without.
so I would imagine Instagram, but
Well, I mean, that's obvious. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that I use on a daily basis. I'd kind of have to like open if you give me a second. Um, oh man, there's really like so many. None of them are that sexy. There's Slack I couldn't live without. You know, I couldn't live without Instagram, obviously. I couldn't live without Google spreadsheets right now. You know, I couldn't live without we're it's funny because we're using at first when we launched, we thought we were going to be a competitor to Canva, and now we're looking at integrations with Canva. So that's another kind of, you know, interesting thing. I don't use that as much as some other things. I obviously I use ChatGPT a lot as well. Like it's kind of my
Mm.
personal assistant.
Yeah, and
I
talking
love,
about Canva, it's funny because they made it easier to do design, but it's still,
well,
you know,
it's
still
so
complicated. At least for me, who's
that
not a
was
designer.
that's no, no,
Yeah.
no. So this is where really we started out with Smartsy is less on the complete Instagram part and more on the graphics creation, because if you aren't a designer, Canva's completely overwhelming. It is, you know, you go and there's a million things to do. You have to like it's pretty frustrating. Even for me, I'm pretty good in Adobe. Like I have some training in this, and it's still for me, I'm like, ugh, it's a pretty complicated tool. Um so we started off making it just like this super simple graphics tool for dummies in our software, which is pretty cool now to see. Like it's kind of, it gives people the wow effect, but there comes a point and we're like, okay, well, now we're training experts. So do we really need to, you know, build a Canva competitor? Probably not right now. It's not our biggest priority. So what we're thinking of, instead of, you know, building something that competes, is integrating with them. So, you know, when an expert needs more capabilities that right now is not our biggest priority to build, an example of that could be like animated text, that they have a simple way to go, that they don't have to navigate the complex world that is Canva. But if we integrate it with Smartsy, that it's something that we can kind of take advantage of a lot of the advanced tools they have, but still keep it, you know,
Simple.
simple enough that our experts can use.
Yeah, no, and a lot of the time I always tell people it's like, you don't have to go complicated, but you have to do impactful things and be consistent. And so
Yeah.
that's what I think I like your business idea because it allows people to be very consistent, top of mind, in front of their clients with engaging content
Yeah,
without complicating their life trying to do something like super cool, viral or
exactly.
whatever. It's people,
It
it's consistency.
exactly. Yeah, and we're not looking, when we train our experts, you're not trying to create the next viral trend. That is not your goal, it's not your purpose. It's to create consistent content that connects and resonates and furthers this business's goals. So that's really our goal. You mentioned in the beginning, I don't know if you're recording, but when you do something like this, it's a people business, and so it's one of the things that we like so much about the expert program. There is such a personal, your personal relationships are so important in this type of business. And so even if we built the best automated software, you were missing that kind of human connection. So we're bringing that back with our
Yeah.
expert.
But you're ahead of the time because we had another guest that which is Yana from
Yeah.
Question Base,
Yes.
and we were talking, and what she believes is, AI is already here,
Yep.
and AI will, replace a lot of tools, a lot of things that we're doing today. However, sooner rather than later, companies will start advertising human interaction guarantee, human interaction certified, where,
It,
people are going to get
exactly.
tired of AI, and they're going to look for
Yeah.
companies that have a hybrid,
Well,
I
and
would
yeah,
say.
and it's kind of that we want to build the best hybrid solution, and we want to empower. I am all for AI. It's really an incredible technology. It's incredible what we're doing with it, and we're just scratching the surface. So, but what we want to do is empower people to really be able to use it. So, yeah, because I feel like when I talk, I don't feel like I know that people's knowledge of it's really limited and how they interact with it and use it right now, with just kind of a basic chat GBT is pretty limited. So what we want to do is not even train them. We're also training our AI just to make them better content creators.
No, this it is super exciting.
Yeah.
And there is one question that could be another entire episode, but we're gonna
Okay.
try to limit it to a couple of lines.
Okay.
But what are you excited about in the world of digital marketing, and what are you worried about?
Um, so in the world of digital marketing, and I'll kind of include everything, there is a problem now, like getting through to people. I think especially now, I mean, it's been trending this way, but it's just going to get worse. Like you're saturated, your inbox is saturated from email, your social media feed is saturated, your phone, people are cold calling you, you have to really monitor for spam calls. So my concern is the oversaturation of, and so that it just makes it incredibly hard to reach a new customer or potential client, where before it might not have been as difficult. You could have probably spent less time and less money acquiring a customer than you have to now. Yeah, so and I forgot your other question. That's my concern.
Oh, and what are you excited about?
What I'm excited about. Ooh, God, I'm just everything we're doing at Smartsy is completely exciting. Like using AI to create all of this content that's just at another level. It's something we could never do, just as humans. So I'm really excited about, everyone talks about the level coming down. I think the level's going to rise. Like, of everyone's like, oh, everyone's just going to repeat this same boring stuff from GPT. But I think the opposite. I think we're going to have such interesting content coming out, like it's going to get really creative and really interesting. So I'm super excited about that aspect of it. And I am super nervous about, the reach and the ability to reach people.
No, but so I agree with you. As long as you make a good use or you have a good framework to use AI, such as Smartsy. No, but it's really the big problem today is AI helps a lot,
Mhm.
but it is the same as before, where if you want to cut through the noise, you kind of have to know how to use the tool. And so that is really the most important thing. So people that have zero knowledge, they will do better. But
Mhm.
people that already have knowledge, they're going to get elevated to a whole other dimension. So
I completely agree.
no, that's super exciting. Well, Kelly, it was a true pleasure to have you on this podcast. I'm super excited to follow your company. So everybody, you can go to smartsy.ai. So it's
Yeah. Or
SMARTSY.ai.
even better, you can follow us on Instagram at Get Smartsy.
And yeah, Instagram, and then I guess we can follow you on LinkedIn as well because I know you're
Yes,
posting quite a bit.
I post personally about a lot of issues in tech and being a founder if that is of interest.
All right, Kelly, thank you so much. Well, wish
Yep.
you all the luck, and looking forward to having you on the podcast again to talk about how successful the company is.
Okay, I look forward to that.
Thank you, Kelly.
Bye.